So you are a veteran of Agile Yorkshire. I'm really looking forward to listening to you tonight. I wonder if you might just give us a 30-second plotted summary of what you're going to talk about tonight.
Okay, very kind words, Royd. Thank you for that. Yes, if we cast our minds back all the way to 2014, which was my first Agile Yorkshire.
2014, was it?
Yeah, I decided I'd do a talk about Devops, which is a thing close to my heart and something I've been pursuing ever since. The talk I gave was an overview of what Devops is. And tonight's talk is kind of a bit of a belated update to that because it's only been 12 and a bit years. There's a lot of things happened since then, and I'm going to cover most of them in the DevOps world and try and see if the things that I was talking about 14 years ago are still relevant. One of the things about this talk is it's not really that technical. It's not got, it's an agile meetup, but it's about getting stuff done rather than let's talk about cool tech.
That's what we like, getting stuff done. Well, so that leads me on nicely to my next question, which is really just to ask you, do you think there's something you're gonna talk about tonight, or a little topic you're gonna touch on, or an aspect of something that is gonna surprise people?
Oh, I think so. I will be relating it back to the older stuff, but obviously we're in a very, I'm going to use air quotes, interesting time with the advent of AI. But I was reading an article yesterday from a very prominent voice in the industry who was talking about how building platforms and effectively what DevOps do for humans, how that was incredibly relevant to what AI is going to be using. And building systems for human consumption is not that different to building for AI consumption. And I think that's an interesting point of view. But yeah, that could be the way we're going. Obviously, if we were to come back to this recording in 12 years' time and look at what happened to AI, I think we will be quite surprised by what happened. And I'm intending to come back in 12 years' time and cover that as a follow-up to the talk tonight.
I'm looking forward to that. And it is mad, isn't it? Whether it will be like the whole landscape will be entirely different. Is there something that people will be able to take away and perhaps use tomorrow?
I suppose it's the point of this meetup. It's a people and business problem. It's not actually a technical problem. It's about, as I say, getting stuff done. And there are some takeaways in there about approaches and ways of thinking, which you could probably start tomorrow, thinking about the kind of work you're doing, kind of thinking why it's important and how you can improve it and make it better.